2, Tyrene, 16 to 1, 22 ran. 405, first number 2, Henry Bishop, 13 to 8 favourite. Circle number 9, Collars and Cuffs, 15 to 2. Third number 16, Royal Portora, 7 to 1, 10 ran. 435, first number 6, Crown Board, 11 to 8 favourite. Circle number 3, Capello, 25 to 1. Third number 10, Money for Jam, 15 to 2, 22 ran. At Bangor, 415, first number 32, Pearly King, 10 to 1. Second number 30, Kelka Shandy, 5 to 4 favourite. And third number 11, Gather Ye Roses, 20 to 1, 15 ran.
Back to football and the pools news, and with 7 score draws and 5 goalless games on the coupons, treble chance punters can stand by for a good payout this week. Claim by telegrams if you have 23 points. Let's have a look at the situation at the top and bottom of the second division. Chelsea now 2 points clear, with Leicester having moved up into second place, beating Burnley. Birmingham lost to Cambridge today, so they go down to third place. Queen's Park Rangers and Luton remain 4th and 5th. They drew today, and Sunderland stays 6th. At the foot, the only change is that Watford, who lost to Shrewsbury, go down below Bristol Rovers. They improve a point, of course, Bristol Rovers having beaten Wrexham, and below that, Burnley, Charlton and Fulham all lost. Let's have a look at the situation at the tops of Divisions 3 and 4. Well, Sheffield Wednesday stay at the very top, just on goal difference over Grimsby. Blackburn, who beat Chesterfield, go third. Chesterfield dropping down into 4th place, and Colchester 5th, and Sheffield United are 6th. At the top of Division 4, well, it's still Walsall clear by 7 points now ahead of Huddersfield. Portsmouth remain in 3rd place, and there's no change below that. Bradford City, Newport and Peterborough 4th, 5th and 6th. Today, the new world middleweight champion, Alan Minter, was paid the tribute of an official reception by the people of his hometown, Crawley in Sussex. They were out in their thousands to show the pride and joy they feel at Alan's success in Las Vegas, and not surprisingly, he too was a very proud and a very happy young man.
We have a new middleweight champion of the world. But let me tell you this now. The happiest moment of my life is to come home to Crawley to see you people. It's been absolutely unbelievable. When I say I've won the middleweight champions of the world for Britain, that is right. But let me tell you this. To be the middleweight champion of the world, the middleweight champion of the world is also for Crawley. And let me say, I hope, please God, that it stays in Crawley for a long, long time.
Well, we saw the emotion upon that man's face, of course, last Sunday in Las Vegas, and I'm sure that was a very emotional experience for him today as well. Back to football now, news of the second division. Fulham's Jeff Banton has picked a big day to score his first league goals. Banton got 2 at Upton Park to deal a blow to West Ham's promotion hopes. It was a great fight back by the bottom club Fulham after Alan Devonshire had given Hammers an early lead. Teddy Maybank scored Fulham's first goal, and after a Ray Stewart penalty had given West Ham the lead for the second time. Banton struck twice before the interval. Queen's Park Rangers, another London club in the promotion race, had Paul Goddard to thank for their tremendous start against Luton at Loftus Road. He scored twice in 31 minutes, but Brian Steam put Luton back into the game in the second half. Then with 10 minutes left, Ricky Hill headed Luton level. A first half header by Alan Young put Leicester on the way to victory at Burnley. Paul Edwards added a second before Derek Scott got one back for Burnley. Second place Birmingham didn't look the part at Cambridge, where Tom Finney and George Riley put Cambridge ahead before Frank Worthington scored for Birmingham. And at Eastville, Wrexham's Wayne Shigilski was sent off 5 minutes from time after receiving a second booking by referee Daniel Vickers. Right, let's have a look at the soccer this weekend on ITV. The games between Aston Villa and Ipswich, Middlesbrough and Everton, Liverpool and Brighton, Bristol Rovers and Wrexham, Chelsea and Orient, Colchester and Brentford, Huddersfield and Bradford, Portsmouth and Walsall. You'll see the highlights of at least one of those games wherever you are. And that is all we have time for today. I hope that you've enjoyed sharing at least part of the afternoon with us, and you're all invited next week when we have soccer with On the Ball, the women's boat race, Oxford versus Cambridge, tennis, and the final of the £150,000 Avon Women's Championship from Madison Square Garden, wrestling and another appearance of Big Daddy in tag, and an ITV7 that continues our coverage of the pick of the flat season at Salisbury with 2 big races, the 1,000 guineas and the 2,000 guineas trial stakes, and we have National Hunt Racing from Ayr as well for an ITV7. I say goodbye, leaving you with King's Ride's triumph in the big race today, the William Hill Lincoln Handicap. From all of us on World of Sport, cheerio.
The match of the day in the 4th Division was the meeting between Portsmouth, 3rd place this morning, and leaders Walsall. Our cameras were at Fratton Park to bring you all the action from this important game. So join commentator David Bobin for South Sports Soccer starting tomorrow afternoon at 2:45. Now the news, the time 8 minutes past 5.
The end of a kidnap ordeal. Annabel Schild is freed. Her father flies out for the reunion. Annabel's 7-month-long captivity in the mountains of Sardinia ended at 3 o'clock this morning when her kidnappers handed her over to a go-between. She was freed just a week after a personal appeal by the Pope and a dramatic radio plea by her mother. But in that plea by Mrs. Schild was also a coded message giving the kidnappers certain assurances on leniency. Mr. Schild flew out of Heathrow on the first available plane to Rome and will be in Sardinia this evening. He said, "I won't believe it until I actually see Annabel with my own eyes." He said he was sure the Pope's appeal helped his daughter's release. Keith Hatfield is in Sardinia.
Annabel Schild was released after a carefully coded appeal from her mother on Tuesday. It was done with the agreement of men now in prison charged with the Schild kidnapping. In return for Annabel's release, those bandits charged with her kidnapping will be offered lenient sentences. Annabel is said to be in good health, and the family who immediately looked after her say that she was smiling and that she had put on weight. She was collected by 2 magistrates in Cagliari, where she was reunited with her mother and her 2 brothers. The last evidence that they had that she was alive had been a signature on a newspaper the day before the Pope's appeal last Sunday. She is now in hospital here in Cagliari for a medical checkup and to talk to the police. When I confirmed the news to Mr. Schild to his London home, he said, "Are you sure? Are you sure? I am coming to Cagliari. I can't speak now." Not a penny was paid for Annabel's release. The Pope and her mother did enough. Keith Hatfield, ITN, Cagliari in Sardinia.
The ordeal for the family began while they were on holiday in Sardinia. As they returned to their villa from a dinner with friends, bandits lay in wait by the carport and seized Mr. Schild, Daphne and Annabel. Mr. Schild was freed 16 days later to try and raise a huge ransom demanded by the kidnappers. Mrs. Daphne Schild was freed in January, but that was kept secret until an appeal by the Pope last Sunday. He disclosed the release and begged the kidnappers to free Annabel.
Rapitori di Annabel Schild, la ragazza inglese di 15 anni, sordomuta.
On Tuesday, Mrs. Daphne Schild made an emotional radio appeal to the kidnappers.
My daughter is alone in your hands and has been for months. Please give her back to us. She has suffered so much. Please allow her to continue her life.
Today, of course, those are tears of happiness. Mrs. Thatcher has said the government will stick to their economic policies, even if that means losing the next election. The Prime Minister was in Bournemouth to speak to senior Conservatives from all over Britain. She had decided to make a major speech here because of mounting criticism of the government, some of it from inside the Conservative Party. Mrs. Thatcher made it clear the government weren't going to be deflected, as she said other governments had been. The Conservative government would stick to the task until it was finished, even if that endangered the party's chances at the next election. The Liberal leader, Mr. David Steele, has called on the Chancellor, Sir Geoffrey Howe, to introduce a windfall tax on bank profits in Wednesday's budget. He said the money could be used to help small firms facing high interest rates. The problems of the budget were far from the Chancellor's mind today as he relaxed in the spring sunshine outside a Reigate pub with his family, although it's an even chance that he and millions of taxpayers may well have to pay more for that pint of beer after next week. An inquiry has begun into the collapse of a section of the Humber Bridge. 3 workmen were injured when part of the roadway slipped and debris fell onto them. John Underwood reports.
The accident happened as a giant gantry was being moved into place 500 feet above ground level. It was being moved up the two suspension cables when suddenly it started to roll backwards. The injured men who were working on the gantry jumped onto the narrow catwalks that run along the side of the cables. But as the 30-ton platform plunged to the ground, the force of the fall turned the catwalks upside down.
I was quite frightened.
Yeah, what was the worst time for you?
When we saw the gantry picking up speed and going down the main cable.
So what did you actually do?
I just grabbed hold of the first thing that wasn't moving and hung on.
Were you upside down at all, or?
The catwalk swung over top of the main cable and I went over with it and then back again.
So you were swinging around, were you?
Yeah.
That must have been terrifying.
Yes, it was.
As the gantry was falling, it crashed into one section of newly erected bridge and brought down another section. The exact cause of the accident is still being investigated, but it's sure to add considerably to the cost of what will be the world's largest single-span bridge. It's currently estimated at £75 million. John Underwood, ITN, at the Humber Bridge.
Britain's Hockey Council have voted to boycott the Moscow Olympics just 3 days before the full British Olympic Association meets to decide what to do. The Hockey Council say they won't send teams to Moscow until the situation in Afghanistan changes before the end of May. That's the news, our main bulletin tonight, 9:30.
Well, now the weather forecast. Many places will have sleet or snow showers during the evening and night, but by dawn most of the areas will be dry and frosty, and icy stretches are likely on untreated roads. Tomorrow will start dry and bright, but rain, preceded by sleet or snow, will spread to the area in the morning, reaching Kent and Essex in the afternoon. By this time, however, western districts will again become brighter with scattered showers. Minimum temperature -3, maximum 7. That's the weather forecast. In a moment, we ride off in the company of Dick Turpin.
Something to eat, my lord?
No, I've lost my appetite. My God, I'd give 500 guineas to the man who catches that villain. You seem to regard him as your special quarry, Captain.
He is, my lord.
My God!
Well, what is a moment? That's the question. In fact, Dick Turpin will be with us in half an hour at 5:45.
One, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, a rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, a rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, a rock. We're going to rock around the clock tonight. Hey, the glad drag's on. Join me, hon. We'll have some fun when the clock